Hello, humans of Earth. Gabe here, checking in with you guys. I wanted to make a video talking about emergency preparedness and getting out if you have to leave, kind of what you have to do to get out of your home, if you have to evacuate a building, if there's a bad storm. I really became aware, for the past couple of weeks, just some things have been going on in the news that have, I don't want to quite say like alarmed me, but they got me a little worried. I'm going to read you an excerpt from my diary this morning that I wrote this morning. It says, I think part of what's prompting me to go down this rabbit hole, because I spent like all past last weekend literally binging on like prepper videos on YouTube, which, honestly, it's can get a little scary. There's some real like end of days people out there, but there's some also real practical knowledge that I think everybody should consider, because you just never know when you're going to encounter an emergency situation, whether it be a storm or civil unrest or anything like that. So, part of what I started alarming me was the fact that President Trump was going to send in tactical agents to assist ICE in deporting undocumented immigrants. And that's kind of frightening. Like, I don't know if I'm going to start seeing tanks show up in the city streets or like what. Like, I live in Chicago. I love this city. It's definitely, living in an urban area has its plus and minuses. So I just, but there's things like anywhere you need to be aware of. And I feel like, living in the city, I have developed like a good situational awareness. So I got that going for me. But there are several other things that I realize that I need to really work on if I'm going to survive. And at this point, like, I have 3 young children, like, I need to survive for them. So that's kind of where I'm at. So in addition to the tactical ICE agents assisting ICE coming up from the border, after that was announced, the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, came on and, gave a speech how we're all united and going to stand together and all that, which is great. But also a bit worrisome. There was no real like specifics on like what to do or if we should be helping people or kind of what the plan of action really was. So I'm sure they have one. It's probably secret. The other thing was that the Chicago Police Department has put SWAT agents now on the CTA. So there has been a spike in crime on the CTA, apparently, and to combat that, they are putting agents on the trains with the people to combat crime. Now, I've been taking the CTA for a long time. I actually take the CTA everywhere I go. I don't own a car, so that's pretty much my main mode of transportation, is a CTA and my bicycle. So I've never experienced like a crime against me or anything on the CTA. So I don't question that it's happening. I just haven't experienced it personally. And I feel like I kind of take the train a lot, especially last year. I do go during normal business hours, but apparently some of these attacks were happening during those normal time periods. So that's why. But also it got me thinking, like, are they just trying to normalize a police presence in the population? I don't know. Like, just asking questions. So, that just kind of being worried about that, knowing that like I have a family to care for and all that, realize that like I really am quite vulnerable. Like if something were to happen, like I'm not in that great of shape. Like I definitely have some weight to lose. If I'm going to like get to a secure location on foot or on my bicycle, which, is why I started intermittent fasting. So we're more on that later. I got like a couple research projects like in the pipeline. One is like emergency situation preparedness. The other one is intermittent fasting and, just how to like lose weight basically, because it's something like everyone like strives to do. However, well, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people, like our culture is like obsessed with being thin, and I don't necessarily agree with it. But I'm not saying that thin equals healthy, because a lot of people out there are too thin in my opinion. So like I think for me it's just going to be able to find like that happy balance, that medium of health, just optimal health. So we're all kind of, I know at least me personally, I'm searching for that. So yeah, so I'm gonna go out and like kind of get started. I got some errands to run today. I'm gonna get started just like building a small emergency like bug out bag, and I'm gonna show you my my bicycle that I would evacuate on, because I really don't think that there's like an end of days, grid down kind of situation going to happen. I think I would have to leave because the city would come under martial law. And I think we're in for a hot summer, as in like, comparable to the summer of 68. Now, if you don't know what happened during the summer of 1968 in Chicago, it was a lot of civil unrest. It was the Democratic National Convention was held here. There were riots even before there were riots in the streets and protests at the Democratic National Convention. I believe it was either electric company or phone company workers were on strike. So there was a lot of people striking. There was a lot of people protesting. There were riots because of earlier that year, Martin Luther King was assassinated, and then I believe someone was killed at a beach on one of Chicago's beaches. A black person was killed by a white person. So, we are at a time in our history right now where we are still very much divided along political lines, a lot of people along racial lines, and even like neighborhood and territory lines. Like we are a divided population, and it's sad because that's how we fall, guys. I mean, that's how we got to work together. Human beings are not, meant to survive alone. We are meant to help each other, and that's how we've gotten this far in the first place. So I really encourage you to just, pay it forward. And I do think that I do believe in like human goodness as a whole. I think, some people just might get carried away with the situation, let fear rule them, and that's when kind of bad stuff happens. So, for me, I just want to be aware that like when and if something bad happens, there is another kind of rioting or martial law or government takeover of the city that I'm prepared to leave. So I've come up with a plan, but there's still a lot of stuff I need to do, of things that I need to take with me. And I still need to have the conversations with my family members about, what I would be doing, what we would be doing in that situation. So, okay, that's it for now. It's kind of long-winded, but I'm going to go ahead and run my errands, and we'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back. So I just got back from doing my errands around town, and I had a couple of stores to stop at, in addition to bank, post office. And so I wanted to share with you a couple of the things I picked up, because I picked them up for my bug out bag in mind, or a 72-hour bag. I'm going to link some videos and some channels to you guys whose videos I've kind of been going down the rabbit hole with, and I found really helpful. So I'll link those below in the description. But I also want to remind you guys that when you're building your stuff, use stuff that you already have. Money is an issue for me right now, as in I don't have a lot of it. So I know when I'm doing these things, preparing for emergency and stuff like that, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of stuff right away. I'm going to see what I have at my house and just build on stuff like that. And, just go out and get stuff a little bit at a time. So now I'm going to show you a couple of things that I picked up from the dollar store, and then my local grocery store. Okay, so here's our Dollar Tree haul right here. I did get, some of the stuff I knew that I didn't have, or I wanted an extra to keep in my go bag. So I got a little thing of ibuprofen, hand sanitizer, baby wipes, toothpaste. One of these is for the kids, but one of these, both of these, if I'm, toothpaste. I do buy toothbrushes in bulk, so I will be putting our own toothbrushes in there. Duct tape. I mean, I don't think this is the highest quality duct tape, but it'll do in a pinch, just in case. I'm a woman, so that. I got these, I don't really know, how well they're going to do in case of, a serious, keeping out viruses and stuff. But I figure, it's better than nothing. And it's really just to filter out, probably big dust, sawdust, metal filing, shaving, stuff like that. But I was thinking too that even if I just have these on hand as placebo, even, you know what I'm saying? The mind does, it is documented, placebo is a thing, and that works. So even if I have these just to help with the placebo effect, it's not a bad thing to have. It's a pack of 8. So that's enough for one for each person in my family. We're a family of 5, and I have 3 extra, or 3 to give away. Okay, so this is what I got from the grocery store. And honestly, most of the stuff is just for dinner. And because I wanted to get some extra stuff, because I know a storm is coming tonight, so I don't want to have to go out for the next 2 or 3 days. But I did grab this for my go bag. It's just energy trail mix. So as you can see, it has raisins, nuts, pine nuts, M&Ms, and sunflower seeds. And it looks like little chocolate kisses. So yum. So I got to, because if I am traveling with the kids or whatever, and I just think it's probably good to have a whole bunch rather than just one, just in case. And then I got this jug of water, mostly because it had a carry handle, and it was small but big enough to, I felt like, could sustain us. So one of my first purchases is going to be a water filter, like a drinking like filter straw thing. And then when I decide on which one, we'll have a little episode about that. But like, I figured that way I'll be able to use this jug to refill. Hopefully this handle lasts, a while, and it's even like a nice shape. I can put a cord in here, a bungee cord in here to kind of attach it to something. So, it wasn't cheap. It was over $4. And I think it was like $4.50 or $4.60 or something like that. But so, if I pick up like one a week or so, then I can get kind of a little thing going. Okay, so now I'm going to get started like finding and packing my bag. Actually, it's going to be like a family bag, for me and the kids. So, that I'm going to get that together, and then I'm going to come back and show you what I came up with. Hey guys, so I think I'm off to a pretty good start here. What I did was I basically went through my house and saw what I could add to the bag that could just kind of stay there. So I feel like I have a pretty good like level 1 state of emergency, grab something and go bag. Let me show you what I got. So I vacuum sealed all of my family's clothes into this bag. It actually does fit in here and while still zipping. So that was huge. That was totally huge. I will have to go through this like every couple of months and cycle through the clothes. Right now I have all winter clothes in here. In a couple of months it'll have to be summer clothes. I put a 1 contractor bag in here, 1 regular garbage like tall kitchen bag. I have like 4 or 5 of these gallon Ziploc bags because they're good for wet clothes. I was originally going to put all the clothes in each one of these bags, but then like a pair of jeans didn't fit, and everything just ended up going in here, which I think worked out. And then I found these. These are old like little diaper, small, kind of like dog poo bags, but for diapers, and I'm just going to keep them in here with this. Those will probably come in handy. Let's see, you guys kind of saw this stuff before. I don't want to talk about stuff twice. What did I add? Roll of toilet paper. I took out the core in the middle, flattened it, put it in this Ziploc. It saves space and my toilet paper is not going to get wet. Flashlight. Super important. This is a heavy duty one I got for Christmas a year or 2 ago, and this is important safety flashlight. I added suntan lotion. Dude, if we got to be out there, I mean, I know I'm like packing for the winter clothes or whatever, but if we got to be out there, like, I'm really going to be glad that we had this. Okay, miscellaneous like hair ties. It's always good to have extra of these. I added a bar of soap. This, I figured this was in there. I was just going to keep it in there. It's some baby chest rub for breathing. So it's kind of like a whole, like all natural Vicks, basically. Extra feminine product. Deodorant, toothbrush, extra toothbrush for each person in my family. I have a lighter, extra contact solution in cases. I have an extra pair of glasses, and then bug spray. This is huge for extra bug spray and extra diaper rash ointment. Just in case. It's mostly zinc. I feel like it could come in handy for a lot of different things. Okay, now that brings me to my first aid kit. And when I opened this thing, I was like super excited about it. because it had a lot of things that, like, I really didn't have to add anything to it. So it has your, like, this triage bandage for if someone, like, sprains their elbow or something. Pads, gauze pads. I was really excited about this emergency survival blanket. I will probably end up ordering a few more of these. I think these are really important to have, especially in my climate where it does get cold. Anyway, there's like towelettes, alcohol, prep pads, that sort of thing. Band-aids. I did add these because you never know when you need to file something. And these clippers. That's just the list. This came with this. I mean, this is a pretty good set that came with my car. So if you guys see like a car first aid kit on the market out there, go ahead and snap it up. So might need to go with a plan B with this bag here, because as you can see, it's not zipping. And I wasn't able to get my water in, which is like super important. You kind of want to be able to have the water. Like if they came knocking on my door and was like, we're evacuating the city, I could be like, okay, let's go. And that's it. You know, I might want to put some extra cash somewhere in the bag. And that's about it. So, I'm thinking I need to round up an actual backpack that will fit all this stuff, and then should be okay to go. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Did I miss anything? Should I leave? Is there anything I should leave out? Is there anything I really need to add? Just kind of going from memory over watching like the entire weekend of the rabbit hole of prepper videos. So, yeah, keep on surviving. Thanks. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll come back at you with either another cooking video or painting. So we'll see you at the end of the week. Thanks.